Hi everyone, welcome to the first episode of my playthrough of Darkest Dungeon. I think to show to new players or people who are interested in this game what it's about and what it's like, I'm going to start right from the very beginning and just completely go in from the loading screen and everything right in from there, just so everyone can kind of see exactly what's in the game.
Ruin has come to our family. You remember our venerable house? Opulent and imperial, gazing proudly from its stoic perch above the moor. I lived all my years in that ancient, rumor-shadowed manor, fattened by decadence and luxury. And yet I began to tire of conventional extravagance. Singular, unsettling tales suggested the mansion itself was a gateway to some fabulous and unnameable power. With relic and ritual, I've bent every effort towards the excavation and recovery of those long-buried secrets, exhausting what remained of our family fortune on swarthy workmen and sturdy shovels. At last, in the salt-soaked crags beneath the lowest foundations, we unearthed that damnable portal of antediluvian evil. Our every step unsettled the ancient earth, but we were in a realm of death and madness. In the end, I alone fled laughing and wailing through those blackened arcades of antiquity, until consciousness failed me. You remember our venerable house, opulent and imperial. It is a festering abomination. I beg you, return home, claim your birthright, and deliver our family from the ravenous, clutching shadows of the darkest dungeon.
Alright, so that was the intro screen. I'll leave this up for a second because this is one of the reasons that this has slowly become one of my favorite games of all time, is that everything has consequences. You can't save scum like a lot of games. You just kind of have to live with the choices you make. We'll go normal. And we'll start right from the beginning.
You will arrive along the old road. It winds with a troubling, serpent-like suggestion through the corrupted countryside, leading only, I fear, to ever more tenebrous places. There is a sickness in the ancient, pitted cobbles of the old road, and on its writhing path, you will face viciousness, violence, and perhaps other damnably transcendent terrors. So steel yourself, and remember there can be no bravery without madness. The old road will take you to hell, but in that gaping abyss, we will find our redemption.
All right, so We should be good to go here. Perfect. So this is kind of a little introduction area to kind of get you used to the controls. You start with 2 characters. And this is kind of how they map out the dungeons.
Brigands have run up these lanes. Keep to the side path. The hamlet is just ahead. Dispatch this thug in brutal fashion, that all may hear of your arrival.
So, this is turn-based combat, like a lot of my favorite games are. I come from a history of XCOM and the Gold Box games of the 80s, so this is the kind of strategy that I enjoy a lot. Here's where all their abilities are. Alright, so Smite hits the front 2 people. Oh no, this lets me pick one of the front 2, so we'll do that.
Decimated.
Alright. So whenever you come across stuff, you kind of have to make a decision too.
A handsome reward for a task well performed.
So obviously they're gonna, the first
Leave nothing
time,
unchecked. There is much to be found.
they're gonna
in
let you have
forgotten
success
places.
on the first time, so.
An ambush. Send these vermin a message. The rightful owner has returned, and their kind is no longer welcome.
So this is a debuff whenever it's underneath and there's kind of an arrow down. This obviously means there's a bleed effect on my guy, so he's slowly going to bleed out.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
That's another big thing, is when something dies, it leaves a corpse on the ground. Because when they originally made this game, things would kind of slide forward, and it would just be too easy to kind of work your way through to the more powerful guys in the back, right? So my guys are bleeding. I only have food and gold on me, and so I don't. Later on you can store or buy bandages at the store before you go out.
Monstrous size has no intrinsic merit, unless inordinate exsanguination be considered a virtue.
And that's another thing. You can continue to kind of search around if you're in a dungeon, or you can choose to head home once you've kind of accomplished what you need to be done. So it says continue adventuring, return to the hamlet. Oh! So like a dummy, I didn't get that chest. So I'm in too much of a hurry. Now, at the end of every mission, you will either get kind of like bonuses or afflictions for your guys. So now Reynold is compulsive, so he'll suffer the intense need to do specific actions. And Dismas, so he gets a buff. He's 10% blight resistance, so you get the good and the bad every single time you go out.
Welcome home, such as it is. This squalid hamlet, these corrupted lands, they are yours now, and you are bound to them.
So here's kind of the log. So here's your first two guys that showed up in town. Here's kind of like, there's not really quests, but there's like a checklist of things you need to kind of get done. So you work your way down those. So obviously your first foray into the ruins. Alright, so there's an abbey that you can unlock later. There's the guild, the blacksmith, the nomad wagon to shop for items, memoirs, the graveyard where
most will end up here, covered in the poisoned earth, awaiting merciful oblivion. Women and men, soldiers and outlaws, fools and corpses, all will find their way to us now that the road is clear.
So, two new people have shown up into town. A plague doctor. He's kind of drag and drop.
Laboratory than the blood-soaked battlefield.
And a Vestal, who are kind of the closest things
A sister
to...
of battle, pious and unrelenting.
They're the closest thing to kind of like a cleric class, a healer. So, these are super popular. At least with me they are. I do like the plague doctors. So, we've got everyone that's from Stagecoach. You can upgrade. So when you go on missions, you're going to get rewards, and you can spend them to increase your roster size. Because right now my roster size is, I have 4 of my 9 already. So you can increase the roster size. You can increase the number of heroes that show up in the Stagecoach. And then later on down the ride, you get people that are of higher level, because you lose people, and it's such a bummer if you go on a mission if you get half your party wiped out. They found that starting over at level 1 was just too much of a buzzkill, and people would stop playing. So at least with this later on, you can recruit people that are already higher level, so it's not such a grind of the old dungeons.
Trinkets and charms, gathered from all the forgotten corners of the earth.
So here you can kind of buy things that'll give buffs. So this, if it's well lit. And then they kind of have a rarity scheme to them too, right? And then once again, if you buff it, you can increase the number of trinkets here and reduce the cost. And then the last place we need to take a look at...
In time, you will know the tragic extent of my failings.
So here's kind of the memoirs is the story so far, so as you're going along. So here's kind of the path you're on. So these were the 2 intro movies we watched. So now we need to defeat the brigand and just work our way down through all this stuff to get to the darkest dungeon. So we have our party. So there's not much more we can really do yet. We don't have a lot of the places left, so much like it's reminding me, it's time to embark. So
a mecca of madness and morbidity. Your work begins.
So we don't have a full party yet, so let's bring people down. When you click on them, it lights up what their preferred position in the party is, so they actually like being in the middle 2 spots. So we'll do that and switch them. When we look at him, he likes this one also, but he's okay with being in the back. Him, middle 2. Him, up front and center. So we have a pretty good lineup. And then you can also, your trinkets are here, and then as the game goes on, you can upgrade your armor and your weapon. And you can change out your skills and unlock even better abilities later on. So we have them set up and ready to go. So now we can go buy our provisions.
The cost of preparedness measured now in gold, later in blood.
The commentary on this game is probably one of the best selling points. So take enough food. I like to take a shovel. Like I showed earlier, there's bleed effects, so you like to take a bunch of bandages. I'll grab a key, and then the most important thing, torches. If you don't use things, you do sell them back at the end. You also you only have room for this many unique things, and there's like a maximum stack size for some of these things too, right? And so you may have to throw out something to make room for rewards as you're going on. So we're just going to start with these kind of basic things. We have our party ready, so let's head out on our first mission. Alright, it's ready to roll. So I guess originally also it used to auto move for you, and people found that annoying. So now you use A and D to kind of go along. So when you're in one room, it's kind of just one screen size. And then when you're here, we only have one path to go, but you kind of like pick your path to the next room. So like this mission, explore 90% of the room. So as we go along, we're just going to keep going around. The little thing that went over his head was stress. And you'll see later on, there are huge risks to stressing people out. So your health bar is here, and your stress bar is the one below. When you hit 100 stress, there's a check to see what you do, and some people do valorous things, and other people freak out. And then obviously hit points are hit points. So you may have noticed dim light, keeping it over 75 is generally a good thing. It doesn't cost you an action in combat. You just have to right click on it. Combat, everyone has a speed rating, and at the beginning of combat it rolls a d8 for every character, and that's pretty much when they act. So for him, if you look at the ability, it shows that this one, I'd have to pick one of the front two people to shoot. This one, I'd have to pick one of the back three people. There's only 4 that you're fighting against. This one hits all 3 of the first 3. And then this one, I'd have to pick one of the back people. So some are buffs, debuffs, different things. This one hits everybody, so I'll pick that. So the 2 things available for him, I can Noxious Blast, or I can do Battlefield Medic. Nobody's hurt, so this one I have to pick who I want to use. So we'll pick the one guy that isn't debuffed. Nope, he resisted it. So now our Vestal, their abilities, heal someone. A party heal, so this one is an individual target that heals 4 to 5. This heals everyone in the party for 1 to 3. And then there is Illumination. So once again, nobody's hurt. So I believe it blinds someone. Oh, it just debuffs them.
A blazing star is born.
Alright, so one of the first 2. Both. One of the front 2, Stunning Blow, or Bulwark of Faith. So let's try this and just...
Another abomination cleansed from our lands.
So here, we can take our key, unlike I did in that first mission. Oh. I guess it wasn't locked.
Beyond measure. Awarded
So,
to the brave and the fool.
an extra shovel. This stuff you just sell. This stuff you just... Oh no, here's a trinket. But for Vestals only, so that's good that I have one. So take. Bum, bum, bum. How do I'm trying to remember this stuff. Oh, there we go. So we've equipped that on them, so now they get a plus 10% virtue chance. But a little less hit points. So let's get out of this room. Next one's in a straight line. So now a bunch of stuff is kind of opened up. Not always that happens. You can see if you go this way, there's a battle. If you go that way. So there's a guaranteed battle in this next hallway, and there's an obstacle. But we have to go this way anyways, so...
Even the cold stone seems bent on preventing passage.
Bad things can happen if you don't use a shovel. So always try to have... I always bring one, maybe two is better. But like I said, you don't want to fill up your inventory either. So I like this one. It hits all three in the front. Healing isn't needed. This is only for the back too, so it only hit one. So let's just... There we go. And that's another 5 damage per round for 3 rounds. So that's a pretty big dot. It's dark again. So we'll torch up. No one's super hurt. They're kind of hurt. So heal. Party heal. We'll just do this. And it can be anyone. Generally the ones in the back are more powerful. So if we can reach something back there, it's usually a good idea. This one was very powerful last time. And it's the only kind of multiple target attack. Oh.
A faint hope blossoms.
Oh, that's nice. It's kind of funny, like, this is a corpse, but the damage over time will still actually wear it down over time. So now that there's only one left, and this can hit one of the first 2 people.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
Single target usually does more damage, so...
Seize this momentum. Push on to the task's end.
This one's a smaller dungeon, so we're right here, so we can go fight this guy, or we can go over here where there's treasure. We still have to do 90%, so probably all rooms but this one. So let's just go this way to check out the treasure. Ooh. So there's something here.
Glittering gold, trinkets and baubles. Paid for in blood.
Once again, they're not horribly... I think he stole it. So once again, more torch. It's funny, sometimes some of them will steal the treasure away from the party. So you really have to kind of watch what traits some of them get. Let's try the party heal out. So yeah, everyone healed 1. The healing effects in this game are so minimal. Oh.
Death by inches.
That one didn't leave a corpse.
Great is the weapon that cuts on its own.
Hmm. Oh my. So now that there's only one left, the grape shot blast isn't the best, so we're gonna go to this.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
So yeah, that was the first kind of semi-challenging fight. There are people that it's more dangerous the less light there is. Like it says 83, so it's 83% light.
Watch your step.
That is... I can't remember. One of them is your ability to see traps coming. But the darker it is, actually the better the reward you get. So the game knows when you're risking more. So it is a complete risk-reward game, so... So now we can go fight this boss, or we can go this way. So when you backtrack, it'll be empty rooms that you're... So here, now we can see the trap on the floor. Whoever you have selected is the one that's going to be disarming it. So pay that in mind also. So this should be the boss fight. So now we have a couple people that are actually hurt, so... Oh, and hurt badly. So now it pays... Like, the party heal, probably not the best, so healing him... Ooh. Like, look, a crit did double the healing, and it still did. Like, healing is so... minimal in this game.
Give them no quarter.
I'm gonna continue to use this, even though there's only one guy left, because this doesn't hit the third guy. I could shoot him, but I kind of want to clear out the corpses too. So now he's closer, so I can do this. So he might even die on his own turn. So... we're going to try and do a full heal on this guy. Ooh, back-to-back crits. Sure. So now it's worth just doing the single target. Oh!
Slowly. Gently. This is how a life is taken.
So that's kind of the neat thing about this, is if you do poison them, the poison goes off on their turn, so they may die before their action even happens. Oh, let's give some things out. I don't want to lower... They have something. Maybe give him something? Yeah, that seems about right. So now I'm in this room, so now you have to clean out 90, so we just have to go backtrack. So no new things are going to pop up in this room, no new traps are going to pop up. You just got to take the time to kind of work your way back. So now that we're back here, we can work towards a room that we've never been to. See, so now he took it away from the party. The group kitty, I guess you would call it. Oh. Hunger spots pop up randomly on a map, so that's kind of why you have to bring food. So it does heal you, which is nice, because there are people that healing rarely comes up in this. And so any opportunity to kind of heal is a good thing. So here's the chance. I cleaned out all the rooms but one. So now, do I want to push on or do I want to go back? So my party's pretty healthy, so we're going to continue adventuring, even though this room has nothing. So now we're just going to go on to the last room. We can click up here to get the heck out. So, and we still have torches. No one's really stressed out except for the one guy. Oh, we have another shovel, which is good. So let's check out what's in this last room. So there's one more fight and one more chest. These guys are pretty good. Oh my goodness. We're gonna keep going after this guy. Because generally the ones in the back, you're always fighting to get to them. That was a really good hit. So we're going to try this one again. Actually, we need to heal him bad. Wonder if I can finish this guy off. So maybe he'll die on his turn. Two of them are poisoned. Man, they keep going after him.
Those who covet injury.
So there's our first guy.
In no short supply.
That's our first one. So he either gains an affliction or a buff, so we got the bad out of that. Oh.
The slow death. Unforeseen. Unforgiving.
That's the other thing, is sometimes you have to waste a turn getting people back into positions where they can use the abilities that you want them to use, so. And it really sucks when they're stressed if they lose ability. Like this one I have to be in one of the back two spots, so I've lost that as a power. So now which sucks is I can't heal him, so maybe we'll...
The wounds of war can be healed, but never hidden.
That back guy's poisoned already, so let's go after this guy. Oh, nice.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
Oh yeah, so they're within reach, which kind of sucks too. I'm going to continue to try and heal him. It also gives him a buff. So now they go after the healer. So now we just need to... There we go.
These nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
All that for one deed. Okay, so now we can leave. So there's a couple kinds of currency here. Obviously, all of these things, there's stuff that we didn't use, stuff that we found. We can return it all and then get gold for it. And we also get just what they promised us for doing the quest. And then down here, the heirlooms, it keeps track. And depending on the building, you upgrade it using these. So it's kind of, you need a little bit of both. Also, part of the post mission, people get experience to move them up. It shows that he's stressed out and has gained that. And now we get to see what they get. So they gain extra stress in ruins, which kind of sucks.
The tents are pitched, banners fly, and the corpse wagons stand at the ready. The circus has come to town.
So, like it says, some negative quirks will lock into place and become severe. Severe negative quirks cost much more to remove in the sanitarium. So that's what the sanitarium's for, is you can assign people to there. You lose them as a party member to go off on missions, but then it heals them of... Well, not heals, it just removes a lot of the really negative traits that they would have, so... Alright, so that was week 1 on here. So we completed our first foray into the ruins, so now we just kind of keep working away with that. We will. So now...
Fresh kegs, cards, and curtained rooms promise solace to the weary and broken alike.
This is one of the places, so if somebody's stressed out, we can assign them to here. You would drag them. There, it costs 1,000, so if we want him to drink away, there you go. So he's going to melt away his worries because he was over 100. And like I said, the tavern helps with that, so... can improve the bar facilities, you can improve the gambling facilities, or improve the brothel. Another new building, the Abbey, is also a stress relief.
Have been dusted, the pews set straight. The Abbey calls to the faithful.
So you can pray, you can meditate, you can get flagellation, and then upgrading obviously improves those rooms. Some people will only go to the church or only go to the bar when they need stress relief, so you have to kind of like micromanage and not just throw them willy-nilly into these, because then if you have these rooms full, you can't just pull somebody out and put somebody in, so you got to kind of pay attention who likes what forms of stress relief. Let's check our stagecoach. So a second plague doctor has arrived, and an antiquarian. So we're going to grab one of you.
She searches where others will not go, and sees
for this run,
will not see.
I'm going to try and do this without getting duplicates, so we're going to let that guy go. And then we can run our next mission while he drinks and relieves stress, so because no one else is really super stressed out. So but I think we're going to leave it there, not try to have too long of episodes. So if you like what I was doing, don't forget, like, subscribe, check out my channel. I'm slowly going to work away at some of my favorite games and kind of go through some long play sessions. So once again, thanks, and I'll see you around soon. Have a good day.